Are you feeling stuck? Maybe your vision has gone blurry, or some aspect of your work has just become stale, or there's some persisting challenge that you just can't seem to overcome. How do you hit the reset button? Let's cue it up. Okay, I have three metaphors that I'd like to share with you. And these are really just each an analogy for how a simple yet powerful reset can help us when we're stuck. Here's the first one. There is a photograph of a vineyard by an elite world-class photographer named DeWitt Jones. I won't post it here for copyright purposes, but he describes the picture as same old, same old. The pattern created by the lines of the vineyard becomes too repetitive to maintain the viewer's interest, so he slightly shifted his field of view to include a little red bucket hanging on one of the lines in the vineyard. Just a little red bucket in the corner of the picture to add a little bit of color to the green and the brown, and some renewed interest in the overall scene. Is there an aspect of your organization's work or even your own leadership effort that is becoming mundane, routine, and less inspiring or effective? What if instead of doing away with the behavior, program, or message, you simply added a red bucket? What would that red bucket be for your organization? What interesting new twist could you apply that inspires stakeholders all over again? Sometimes we think that the fix requires a complete replacement or transformation when it may only need something as simple as a red bucket. Let's think about a different metaphor. If you've watched or listened to me for any length of time, you probably know that I'm a big baseball fan. Actually, I'm more of a St. Louis Cardinals fan than I am a baseball fan. But recently, a Cardinal player who was a fan favorite experienced a significant decline in his performance. Now, all players go through valleys or slumps, but in this particular case, the slump lasted about 3 years. Eventually, fans became frustrated, and finally, the Cardinals had to release this celebrated player. After a very short stint with another team in the minor leagues, the player was picked up by, of all teams, the New York Yankees, where he suddenly reemerged as a prolific hitter. Suddenly, the mojo was back, and the performance contributed great value to the Yankees' success in reaching last year's American League Championship game. In baseball, they sometimes call this phenomenon a change of jerseys. The player simply needed a new jersey, a change of scenery. The baseball diamond in the New York Yankee Stadium measures the same as it does in St. Louis. The pitching is just as challenging and the rules are identical. Sometimes players just need a reset, not a complete transformation of their swing method, just a change of jerseys. What or who in your organization still has great value and potential, but seems to be underperforming as of late? What if you could simply change the jersey? I don't mean release them to another team in this case. I just mean finding some change of scenery that can re-spark the thing that made this program or person so impactful to begin with. Here's a third metaphor. When you have a roaring fire in the den or in the backyard fire pit that's beginning to wane, you don't have to start from scratch with new kindling and try to get a fire going. You just simply add another log to the fire. Are you adding logs for your team members? Are you challenging them with new heights? What about you? What's the next log to throw on your leadership fire to restore the beauty and power of your flame? You know, if we went out and bought a new computer or phone, every time our device froze up or started acting funny, we'd run out of money pretty quickly. More often than not, simply rebooting the device solves the problem. Okay, that was a fourth analogy. But it applies. What in our own performance, in your team or your organization, needs a simple reboot? Anyway, that's the Jinks perspective for this week. If you'd like to explore ways that we can help you or your organization achieve greater clarity, simplicity, and alignment in your mission work, I hope you'll reach out and schedule a free discovery call with me by clicking the link that we've included in the video description that's below this video. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button below. And always make sure to include the bell icon so that you'll be notified when new episodes are released. Finally, I hope you'll share this with a friend or a colleague who might find it useful. Lead on.